How did you get started in dance?
I started dancing when I was 4 years old. My mom signed me up for ballet class, and I took class all through graduation of high school, and I started dancing really seriously around age 12, 13. And I really loved it. It was my home away from home, and I knew that's what I wanted to do.
Explain what it was like being in college and running a studio at the same time.
Being a full-time college student and running a dance studio at the same time was difficult. The hardest part was balancing my schedule and trying to be fully committed to my degree in the dance program at Wayne, and auditioning for all of the pieces and making sure that I was getting all the training I wanted and needed and fulfilling my role as a student, while also giving enough time and energy to make sure that my business would succeed, and also to make sure that my students who were depending on me were getting everything they needed so that they could one day get to where I was. So I was pulled in a lot of directions, and I was busy all the time, but I think that it made me a stronger, not only did it make me a better student, but it also, I think, made me a lot better teacher. So I'm really glad that I did it that way.
Who are the influential teachers or artists that helped mold you into the artist you are today?
The teachers who I think molded me into the teacher that I am today, I would have to say, are the teachers I had growing up, which was Shelley Amato and Christine Jenkins, as well as Judy Rice and Edward Franklin, and a lot of my peers from college and after, Lauren Adams and Sonia Taya, who are my greatest friends, have also been a really big inspiration and have always pushed me and challenged me. So I think that they've helped me to be the teacher that I am today. I've learned a lot from them. As far as choreography and as far as other artists that have molded me, I would say I'm always really inspired by female choreographers. Twyla Tharp, Pina Bausch, are two of my favorite, and they're completely different from each other, but I'm always really inspired by other women choreographers. The way that they push boundaries, or like for Pina Bausch, the way that she uses her arms and hands, and the use of feminism or femininity in the choreography, I have always really admired.
Explain your creative process when beginning a new piece or project.
Beginning a new project, I would say that I'm always the most inspired, or most heavily inspired by my dancers. I like to kind of feel out who they are and what they would bring to the piece, and then I like to use that as the inspiration throughout the piece, for their character, or for their movement, I think every dancer kind of likes to move at a different tempo or pace, and I like to show that. I'm also really inspired by music. I like to start with music. So I think music and dancers, and then everything goes from there, usually for most of my creative processes, I would say that.
Do you have any great words of advice to offer to the current generation of dancers?
The advice that I usually try to give students or young artists growing up would be to make sure that you're always happy with yourself, because if you're always dancing for other people's approval, or all of your happiness is based on what someone else feels about you as an artist, that makes for a really hard life. So my advice for young dancers is to just always find your own love and your own appreciation for yourself, and strive to inspire and surprise yourself as a dancer. And if you can do that, then you'll always be happy and you'll be confident, and that's the first step for greatness. This is how I get inspired for my new pieces. I just sit in a room filled with battery operated candles and I let the ideas flow through my mind.